Hey, this is Ryan.
And this is Steve.
And we're going to do a little video review, Steve.
We're gonna watch a music video.
We're going to watch a music video about the prostate.
Yeah, someone in our Facebook group sent this to the group, wanted to get our opinions, so I guess we're going to give it.
Well, I saw this thing pop up when it came out back in August of last year.
I didn't.
2016 is what we're talking about. So basically, it's like this awareness campaign.
Right.
Put together by a bunch of Australian guitarists.
Well, it's an Australian channel called Guitar Gods TV, I think.
Let's pull it. Let's look it up.
As we have it on this.
Yeah,
Guitar Gods TV. It's a YouTube channel, but it's also a public access show.
Is it really?
In Australia, yeah. There's like over 300 episodes of this program.
I didn't know that.
So it's like there's not a ton of information about it, but I was able to kind of like dig through some different things. So this campaign is both a prostate awareness and depression awareness campaign.
Yes.
So I'm not sure where the depression part comes in, except for like a quote at the beginning. But the charity they're supporting is a Australian rules football player who died from prostate cancer, who I guess was like super popular.
Uh-huh.
And so he has a whole foundation that is for raising funds for prostate cancer research and whatever.
So now that we've said all the good stuff that they're doing,
let's watch this video.
We're going to watch this video and we're going to make fun of it, I think. All right. I'm about to press play. Here we go. I'm going to do a little picture-in-picture right around here. Steve wants me to cover his gut.
There we go.
Here we go. Hopefully the volume's up.
Do you want it up?
We want to be able to hear it, don't we?
Okay. So yeah, so that quote, "The black dog is barking," I guess that's a depression reference. Like that's a depression slang when the black dog is calling.
Here we go. Hopefully that's not too loud.
If it's on your mics, this is all ruined.
So he's saying they've got this crazy character here.
Yeah.
With this huge wig.
His name is Dorian Phallic.
Yeah.
Dorian Chihuahua Phallic.
Well, I think Chihuahua is his last name.
No, that's his middle name.
Oh, okay.
I try to do a lot of research.
It's a made-up character.
Yes.
It's a made-up character that they're doing. In the beginning here, he claims that he's been discriminated against his whole life for playing guitar.
Right. He's saying everybody has been.
Oh, there's a picture of his X-ray, and it shows that his wiener
is a LTD.
Is an LTD headstock.
LTD. There's a lot of LTD in this. I don't know if Guitar Gods .tv or Guitar Gods TV channel, whatever.
Right.
Program is sponsored by them, but
it might just be what's available in their part of Australia.
I don't know. Everything is LTDs. The basses are LTD.
They might be sponsored. So he's going in this song. He's going through lists of types of people who have told him not to play guitar.
So far, we've seen a teacher.
Yeah.
A doctor.
Did we see the doctor?
A dancer.
Now this part is racist, right?
It feels really weird.
I know that's kind of like Australians are known for not being PC at all.
Right.
Like, so this isn't going to bother anyone in Australia, I'm sure. But like parts of it, like the whole like sexy ladies thing, and like the kind of like this is like old school, heavy-handed, like we just do what we want sort of stuff.
Yeah, I do kind of like think it.
You thought
They just showed a guy like this guy Sir Ian Botham, who's like some kind of.
So now we're getting into like these celebrity guitarists that are playing.
Yeah, a lot of them are Australian, of course, because they're Australian guys, but they have Tommy Emmanuel. If you don't know Tommy Emmanuel, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. He's no Mojo Nixon, but if you don't know Mojo Nixon, your store could use some fixing. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, this was like a contest that they were running, and they knew that they were gonna get these celebrity guitarists, and the idea was like you download the backing track and you play over it and you send it to them.
Yeah.
And like you post stuff. Like there's all these rules.
Yeah.
And then they'll pick their favorites to mix in between like the celebrity guitarists.
Right.
So you get to be like, yeah, I played on a track with, you know, Steve Vai or Hank
So this guy,
Wagner.
Hack Wanger, that's the Guitar Gods TV guy.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, so one of the things that I actually thought was really cool about this is it's a lot of guys who are either prog guitarists or just like heavy shred guitarists. There's genres where if you don't really listen to it, you kind of, and then there's a couple guys like this who
I like
are just
this.
like way out there.
This one where it like completely changed gears,
Yeah.
and he's got kind of like a country twangy thing,
Yeah.
but he's still shredding it.
But a lot of these guys are definitely like shredders. But what I thought was cool is if you listen to shred casually, the big complaint, oh, it all sounds the same. Okay.
Sure.
And these guys definitely all bring their own style and feel to it.
They all. I think that's the most interesting thing about this video, is hearing the slight differences and the major differences in between the players. My biggest complaint, and no, it went by super quick while we're sitting here talking about it, but like the intro to the song is like 2.5 minutes long, where the guy's like describing all the people who have tried to hold him down and tell him not to play guitar his whole life, which is a ridiculous claim. Like I don't think there's anyone that oppressed for playing guitar.
The only people who told me not to play guitar were my parents.
Were they? Right. I've never had anyone be like, don't you dare play guitar.
That's not a long enough song,
I had to be like, don't play guitar tonight, like we're trying to watch a movie.
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been a better joke there. Like there could have been a better gag to the song. You're doing stuff for prostate cancer and depression. I feel like someone could come up with a better
I think
concept.
It was kind of like, I felt like there were a couple different things going on. One is, how do we make a video that lots of people are going to watch? So one, like, this was shared on ESP's social media. This was shared on a lot of different websites. Obviously, it is shared a lot in Australian places.
All the celebrity guitarists, I'm sure, shared it on their own personal stuff.
If you go on this channel's YouTube page, like, there's a lot of variety in the number of plays that their different videos have, but this video has like literally 100 times as many views. Right. It has like almost 250,000 views.
No, it's like 225,000.
Yeah. So they have both Rebea and Rob Chapman.
Right. I like these Japanese guys.
Yeah.
Like they're all like, it looks like they're in like an LTD dealer, or
they probably are. Maybe they're all LTD sponsored players.
Yeah.
This guy's a Schecter player.
Yeah. You can tell by the banner behind him that says Schecter.
Yeah. How about that?
It's a shred fest. This video is 10 minutes long.
This was really cool.
Yeah, here we go.
Gambale. I think that's a Carvin too.
It looks like the Carvin pickups. Yeah, that is a Carvin for sure.
Which then, of course, it doesn't make sense because it's a Carvin, but he's playing it in Guitar Center?
I don't know. Is that a Cower?
I don't think so. Was it?
Let's rewind a little bit.
Oh my gosh. You just made your editing job complicated.
No, I didn't. It's going to be fine. Here it comes, right after this guy. No, it's not. For a moment, like the headstock looked.
I don't know what that is.
Like it said Cower on it, but that's not a Cower. And I was like, the body doesn't look like Cowerish at all.
I get having all of these guys on here.
Well, I think a lot
watch the whole thing.
I think a lot of these are the guys that won.
Really? You don't think these are all just
not all of them? Some of them are people who like won the contest. The contest was to get on the track.
I don't think I realized that. I thought like all of these guys were known entities.
I don't think so.
Like that they were all people that they reached out to.
I think they're starting to reach out to do like a second part. Because that was the post we saw in the group today. Is someone here's the side topic. It was a lady guitarist posted her invitation to play on it, and she was like, I don't want to play on this. Like, do you want me to be like the bikini model. Like, I don't get it. Like,
Right.
Your previous video does nothing for helping the position of like lady guitarists.
I was reading through the comments on this video, and the guys who made it said that they reached out to like a few well-known female guitarists, and they all were like, no.
Well, they probably saw the intro video.
Right, and so that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. You read through there, and we're probably, depending on how heavy-handed we end up getting, there are a lot of SJW accusations and white knighting and all this stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. It's one of those
things. I like the little like trill thing he just did. With the whammy bar. I like it when people do that.
It's one of those things where I watch this and I love the playing part. I can't do it. I actually.
See, now it's going back into the song, and it's more like risque ladies.
Well, when it's
like dancing around.
Oh yeah, there's hippie ladies. I feel like the only part of it
there's a baby man
that I was really like confused by is the part where he's got where it's just all the women at once.
Right.
That was the one part I was like, I don't like. The rest of it I was kind of like, I don't know. I wasn't like totally weirded out by it. The one thing I am kind of confused by is he keeps saying how all these people tell him not to play guitar, but he's the lead singer of this band. You never really see him play guitar.
He like kind of does it a little bit in the beginning.
So,
but yeah, I don't know. It's a weird concept to me.
Yeah, so that's the E.J. Witten Foundation. That's the people that they're supporting.
I like that this is gonna be super like.
Oh my gosh, I already know what you're gonna say.
This is gonna be super disrespectful, but I love that the logo of the foundation here for the prostate cancer thing is like an upskirt of the guy.
Right.
It's like you're looking up.
It's him kicking the ball, and his leg is up in the air.
Yeah, you're looking up into that prostate. You're checking the prostate for him.
I will say I learned something. I don't really know anything about prostate exams because what's the age they recommend? I'm like 40.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's the point I was gonna make. Is we watch this video as 30-something dudes,
right,
in our 30s, and we're like, this style of music, it doesn't like this isn't like my music. I don't really get the whole like sexy ladies thing. I don't really get.
For what it's worth, when I saw the very first one is like, oh, my teacher told me not to play guitar, and they go for like, the
Van Halen
the
sort of thing.
Sexy teacher thing. I was like, oh, maybe these are just going to be a bunch of throwbacks to a bunch of like old music video tropes, but it really wasn't. Like,
what I'm getting at, like the point I'm going to make is a lot of the humor and a lot of the imagery that they run with in this video is going to appeal more to guys who are in the age where it's like, go get your prostate checked.
Supposed to get it checked. Do you know how often?
Every week, Steve.
Every week. Somehow I don't think it's every week. What I didn't know,
I think it is fairly regularly though, like once a year.
It was like once every 5 years.
Once a year, once every 6 months.
Once every 38 days.
Yeah. You can't check it too much.
The one thing that they say here that I didn't know is they say that it's just a simple blood test.
Is that what it is?
I thought it was invasive.
Yeah, I thought it was a finger thing.
Yeah, I've always heard it was.
I mean, blood tests make sense because it's like you can detect cancer through your blood.
Yeah. I mean, if they're just looking for specific elevated proteins or elevated cell types.
You're the scientist, Steve. I don't know.
I was unaware of that. So if that's changing, maybe that's part of the message they're spreading. I kind of, they have the tag at the beginning and they have the thing here at the end. But I don't know if the song needed to be more tailored to being about prostates.
I think it could have. I just don't get the hook. I don't get the concept of people telling him not to play guitar. Like that's not like he like in the beginning of the video he claims that he's been oppressed his whole life or repressed or people just like trying to keep him from doing the thing he loves to do. It's like I've never had. I mean, I guess I've had experiences where my parents were like, "Hey, shut it down. We're trying to do other stuff." When I was a kid,
I just don't know that. I think the connection is just let's make something really cool that people are going to share.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think they're really trying. Like, no one's trying to do something
at a certain
connected.
In a certain way, it's brilliant because they were able to pull it off.
Right.
Like they were able to come up with a very simple but solid backing track that people could riff over.
Yeah.
And do their little shreddy thing. And, you know, it has some semblance of being kind of a song. But then I just don't get... I feel like they could... With all the energy that they put into it, I feel like there could have been like a really solid joke in there.
Right.
Like a really... Like the humor just isn't funny to me that is in the video. Like, oh, baby, don't tell me. Oh, there's an adult man dressed as a baby. Like, it didn't feel funny to me.
I thought the joke...
Everything was way too on the nose.
Right. I thought it would have been funnier if it was more stereotypical. Like,
you either have to go like full parody and be like Weird Al-ing it and like copying specific,
right,
and making it crystal clear, like this is the music video, this is a piece of pop culture that we're parodying,
right. I just don't. So we talked about this earlier before we settled down to do this, but I kind of felt like it would have been funnier if it was almost like more on the nose, where like, okay, here's a teacher, but it's like, it's the sexy teacher trope, and it's like, why is the sexy teacher saying, don't play guitar, I'm gonna punish you? Like, there's too many tropes there. I feel like it would have been better if it was just like, go with the classic like pocket protector,
right, Ben
Stein telling you not to play guitar, and you can still work, you know, if they want to go with the sexy ladies theme, they can do that.
Well, I think they could have dialed it back a bit and had it just be a couple sexy ladies instead of having the sexy ladies be the stand-in for almost all the characters,
right? And
have it be like, well, here's a sexy lady, here's, you know, that could have been the dancer part, but then have everyone else be like real people,
right?
I'm not saying sexy ladies aren't real people. They are real people.
I think you just said that.
That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying like mix in your audience, mix in dudes who need to get their prostate checked out.
All I know
mix in people who may not be dudes but know dudes who need to get their prostate checked out.
The thing that again, this is going back to the comments on this. Some people are saying like, well, you know, this is a video about a man problem. Well, yes and no, because it's about prostates and depression.
Cancer affects everyone around you when you have it. Do you know people in your life who have had prostate cancer?
Probably. I mean, not specifically that I know of. But
I can think of two in my life, just in family. And my friends aren't old enough to have it yet. It's a problem. Get your prostate checked, guys.
Yeah,
it's real life.
So I just I thought to address again a couple comments that I saw. Oh, this is primarily prostate cancer, but yeah, there's nothing about it. One, comedy I think
it's pretty subjective.
Comedy's subjective. I think comedy is moving towards a place where comedy is becoming more universal. Like the things that aren't necessarily universal are just sometimes not. It's not because I don't have a sense of humor. It's because it's not funny.
You know what would have been funny to me is if you have all the characters that are playing it more straight. Like Ben Stein is a teacher.
Right.
Like get people who look like the people who are in the song.
Yeah.
But then have those characters doing actual things to keep the guy from playing guitar. Like one guy comes in and like snips his guitar cord with scissors. You know, like someone else grabs his guitar and like throws it in the street and a bus runs over it or something like that. Like
the doctor is casting his arm.
Yeah. Like the doctor breaks his arm and his fingers so he can't play guitar. Things like that. That would have been funny to me.
Yeah. I don't know how successful this video was in terms of raising money. Hopefully it did really well.
I think part of the point was awareness too. It's not just about money.
I don't know. I definitely think that the idea that this is a men's problem.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Is short-sighted. If you're married to a person who gets prostate cancer and dies, guess what? You're a woman who it was a problem for you.
It's a whole family problem.
Like this is something where actually all of my female coworkers like 2 weeks ago were like, dude, you're getting up there. Make sure you get your prostate checked. No, yeah, and literally they're coming over to me. They're like, it's gonna be uncomfortable for like a day. But
a day?
But it's
a full day.
A full day. I don't know.
You're going to go home, Steve. You're going to have a good cry in the cold shower with your clothes on.
It's going to be mentally scarring for a full day.
It sounds like they just take your blood now. Although I'm pretty freaked out. I'm pretty freaked out by needles.
Oh, really?
But
I don't know. I mean, that's what they
When the
said in the
time-
video. It probably depends on your healthcare provider.
when the time comes, I'm gonna get my prostate checked. That's
Yeah.
just how it goes.
But, it's one of those things where my office is largely women. And like all the women in the office were like, listen, guys, some of you are getting close, like a couple years away. Make sure you get that stuff done because it's, and they're kind of hammering me a little extra hard being married and having 2 kids. They're like, if you kick off because you got prostate cancer, who's going to take care of your kids?
Yeah. The couple guys that I've known who've had it are the kinds of guys who are like, yeah, I just don't go to the doctor. And then
Right.
they found out, like, because other stuff started happening around it.
Yeah.
And then they finally went to the doctor. You don't want to do that. You want to get checked early. I love that we're talking about this.
Yeah. This is Ryan and Steve for prostate cancer awareness.
We decided to do this fully intending to make fun of this goofy video that has its merits and has things that could be better. But here we are having a real conversation about prostate cancer.
So I tried to look up some different prostate cancer awareness foundations. I could only find like 3, maybe because there's just so many of them, but a lot of them are localized. I know the big one that I see here a lot is the Movember movement, which again is also what is it about Australia and loving prostate cancer?
They just love it.
They are like loving prostate
They're just
cancer.
super into it
because the whole No Shave November / Movember movement.
Is it an Australian thing?
That's from Australia.
That's because this guy.
That's why it's called Movember, because they call mustaches Moes.
It's from this E.J. Witten guy.
Maybe it is.
Who's jumping over the thing, and we can check out his prostate. Sorry, friends and family of E.J. Witten. I don't mean to make fun of him. I'm really just find humor in the logo.
I think
it's got to be intentional, right?
I think
it's got to be intentional.
Well, that's probably like the photograph of when he kicked the game winner from some event or something.
He kicked the ball, and then in the same move, he felt something was a little funny down there.
Oh
He's
my
like,
gosh!
I got to go to the doctor. I got to get checked out. Should we wrap this up? Have we said everything we need to say?
Wrapped this up 5 minutes ago.
We should have wrapped this up 20 minutes ago.
All right.
All right. If you like what you heard today, or if you hate it, go listen to our podcast as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hate listen to us, love listen to us, whatever you want to do.
I don't know what to say.
I've been Ryan.
I'm Steve.
60 Cycle Hum, the Guitar Podcast. Later,
Bye.
guys.